Stand by, engine room.
Stand by, engine room.
Stand by.
Heave the light.
Let it go right out. Now get that, sweat the throat a bit tight.
Hang on, put on me.
That's fine. Magnificent.
Welcome aboard a wonderful old tub called the William IV. She sails out of Newcastle Harbour in New South Wales, and actually she's not as old as she looks, because she's a replica. The original carried cargo between Sydney and Newcastle as far back as the 1830s. Keeping the William IV afloat is a real labour of love, because I understand she's a pretty cumbersome old thing to sail. But she's on lighter duties now, and she's the charge of a handful of retired volunteers. Ian, what's the history behind the William IV?
William IV was conceived as a bicentennial project by a local historian in Newcastle. And it was built as a reproduction of the first ocean-going steamship ever built in Australia. The William IV, the original, was built at Raymond Terrace in 1831. And this is a copy as exactly as possible to that original vessel.
So it's a good replica?
Yes, indeed, it is a good replica, especially the engine, which is very much of the technology of the time.
So she sails like an 1830s vessel?
She sails very much like an 1830s vessel. She's very slow at sea. The paddles act as governors. Although she has a particularly fine hull and can sail very well, she won't sail any faster than the paddles will allow her to sail. So that makes any ocean passage quite long.
Sailing the William IV takes two complete crews, one for the sails and another to run the engines. So she's pretty labour intensive, and that's what makes the volunteer crew so vital. Several times since 1988, she's been threatened with dry dock because of money troubles. So far, she's managed to stay at sea, but only thanks to the dedication of her unpaid volunteers. Kerry, what's your attraction to this lovely ship?
Well, the ratio of men to women.
Which is?
Well, at the moment there's 2 female crew members, Teresa, who's married, and myself, so it's well worth joining. And we don't need any more female crew members.
Starboard 5.
Starboard 5.
I understand you're retired.
Yes, I'm a retired seaman.
So what are you doing working so hard here, Bernard?
I enjoy it. It's I'd sooner be here than sitting around doing nothing. And I do something I like, something I understand.
You have a love for the William IV?
So much a love. No, but I have an affection for it, yes. Yes.
How do people react when they come on board the William IV?
Well, that's one of the pleasures. They all react with great curiosity and interest, especially the younger people. And even when they're going ashore, without fail, they thank us profusely, you know, for giving them a lovely day. And this is, I think this is the real pleasure out of it. Some of the ladies even kiss us goodbye.
Bet you hate that.
Not really.
Bernard isn't only the bosun, he's cook as well. And the dish he served us for lunch is called oodle. The story goes that in the old days on steamships, whatever was available in the galley was thrown into a pot which sat on top of the furnace. The result was called oodle, and it's delicious. My initiation as an honorary member of the crew was a turn at the wheel.
Starboard 10.
Starboard 10.
Midships.
Midship. The William IV is small. She's as long as Captain Cook's Endeavour, but not as tall nor as broad. In the old days, this old girl used to carry coal from Newcastle down to Sydney, in the days when 50 tonnes of coal was an economic cargo. No wonder they called it black gold. But these days, she carries passengers on weekend jaunts. So take my advice. Next time you're in Newcastle, sign on board.
Thanks for joining us.